Hello, everybody.
Hi. You haven't seen us in a while.
Long while. At least not in this capacity.
No, not sitting here. So we know it's week before Christmas, and we know that a lot of people are busy this week. So we are doing this video with the intent of people rewatching.
And if you're watching it, you rewatch it too, like 5,000 times.
So
that helps out.
Yeah. So if you are watching now, say hi. If you are watching the replay, type replay and let us know where you are watching from. I know that this week is very busy for most people because Christmas shopping and baking and all that stuff. So we appreciate you even watching this week.
We got a few people who are leaving comments. I'm putting them
Oh,
on the screen
good.
right now.
Hi.
Teresa.
We've missed talking to you guys like this. As you know, earlier this year, we switched our weekly live show to a weekly podcast.
Yes.
And we have had a lot of requests for people, from people to actually see us do this again for whatever reason. So thank you.
So these are audio animatronics of Scott and Michelle. We built them out of scratch.
Yeah. So, and we have a lot to talk about, and this will be our last show for 2024, if you can believe that. So what we're going to do this week is we are going to, first and foremost, our last podcast was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
We're going to tell you all about the Disney treasure. We saw Mufasa this week. I will tell you my thoughts without spoiling it if you didn't read my review. And then we're going to quickly crunch the year together for you guys. So,
and I have to say, I'm shocked all we did this year. I had no idea it was that much.
Yeah, we did a lot this year. We really did. When he started reading it to me, I was laughing because I'm like, no wonder we're tired all the time because it was just a whole lot. But anyway, any shares that you could do for this video, share it with your friends. We would really appreciate it. Facebook doesn't show our stuff to anybody, so
no, it really doesn't. And we're renaming this TMSM Live now since we do a weekly live.
Since we're not doing,
so
it's depending.
TMSM Live.
Live, yeah. So depending what kind of feedback we get, if you want us to do this every so often instead of the podcast, we will do that. I know a lot of people are enjoying the podcast because they listen in their car or at their leisure. But yeah, we're just trying to make you guys happy. So
any way we can. That's the kind of people we are.
Oh my goodness.
We got lots of people popping in here. Did you get the Scott Michelle animatronics on the treasure? We did. They were part of our treasure.
They were part of the treasure.
That's it, Randy. That's how you got it.
Yeah, so we are just newly back in town. We have had like a very, very busy month of December so far. So you have the schedule.
I have the schedule. So again, TMSM Live, show number 171. So we're just gonna merge it with the podcast numbers in there.
Sure.
For December 18th, 2024. I am Scott.
And I'm Michelle.
In case you didn't know that, which I'm sure you probably. If you're watching it, most likely you knew who we were.
Yeah, probably. If you're new, hi.
If you're new, hi. I guess we were going to start off though. As you all know, we were on the treasure last week.
We were.
Last Sunday we checked into the Contemporary. They had all the media between the Contemporary, the Floridian, and
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom
I want to say, depending what group of media you were in different locations. But it was very nice of them to let us stay on property the night before we got on the ship. I think it was so they could pass out our media kits. And so, they fed us in the morning and then everybody headed over to the coast to get on the ship. Yep.
And so we ended up driving ourselves to the ship. It worked out better that way for us. So we were able, once we got off the ship, we had our car there. We could just go straight home, not have to take a bus back to property, find our car, and then drive from there. So it was just easier for us. So we did stay at the Contemporary, as Michelle said. Our beautiful room. It was on the water side, not theme park side.
Right, which was very nice because you could see the electrical water pageant from our balcony. And it was actually cold that night. Now, before anybody gets on us, it's been cold in Florida. I mean, not this week, but previously, it's really cold at night.
Yeah, we're both kind of a little sick because we went from cold to the warmth of the Caribbean, back to cold. If you watched our video we filmed the last night of the ship, you could tell how cold it was. And then we've gotten back here, and now it's 81 degrees, I think it was today.
Yeah, so. I've never been so cold on a cruise ship in my entire life. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But I thought since we were talking about our stay at the Contemporary that we could mention that we went back to Chef Mickey's after years. I don't think we've been since like my birthday in 2009. No, 20. It was 20.
Was it 20?
Right before the shutdown.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And that was breakfast, or was that dinner?
we did brunch.
Yeah,
we did like lunchtime, and it's good. So I don't want to trash it. However, it's better at breakfast
That's a good way to
and
start.
lunch. I'm just gonna say disappointed. The food was not good. Oh, I'm kind of trashing it, aren't I?
You're kind of trashing.
Okay, the characters
were
was
fantastic.
great. The food, however,
No.
was lacking a little bit.
So the thing with Chef Mickey's, it is one of the higher priced character meals because you are getting the Fat Five. You have all Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto are all there.
Yes.
Walking around.
Yes.
So you are going to pay more for that. It's a premium. The food, there's a lot of options. I'll say it that way. There's plenty of options. If you're not going there expecting fine dining, if you're okay with just barely park food, it's about that.
This is awful. I didn't mean to.
But the character interaction.
But the characters, though. Yeah.
Well, the best part of it though is so if you're standing in the contemporary Chef Mickey's and you're standing there and you're looking towards Mary Blair's mural, our room was to the right side there.
Our door open to looking down at Chef Mickey's.
We were on the first floor room, so floor 5. We were the third room from the edge, and literally we heard Chef Mickey's. Luckily, it stopped at about 10 o'clock at night. However, the next morning starts at 7 a.m. So we were awakened to the different songs and such, and the children screaming.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
And see, I forget because we're local. We do not go on property early for any particular reason whatsoever. But there are people that have breakfast at 7 a.m. on property, which I completely forgot about. But I was quickly reminded because it got loud really fast. So if you
and Randy said he agrees with you. Food is better at
Thank you,
breakfast
Randy.
and brunch.
Thank
Food
you.
is much better because I guess you just expect more. And they had shrimp on there, so that raises the price at dinner time.
See, but we don't even eat seafood.
Yeah, we don't eat that. So I was eating mostly off the kids' little buffet, which stinks because I had to really bend over to get on it. those trays are really low for somebody my height. It's hard to reach.
But yeah, the kids menu all the way.
I love chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets, pizza. I'm good. That's actually a good buffet to me.
Okay, anyway, so the next morning we got up and we had the media breakfast, and then we headed to Disney Treasure.
Yes.
The Treasure, for those that don't know, is a 7-day cruise, and we got to be on for 3 nights as a media preview. So they wanted to show us everything that was on the ship in a very crunched time.
Yeah, it was a condensed version, we'll say that. But we did get to see everything. We only had 1,500 people on the ship with us, which was fantastic. I mean, there was no waits for anything. It was beautiful. And even when we went to Castaway the one day,
there was nobody on the island. So that's not the usual. Like when we did the media sailing for the Wish, it was like that too. And it kind of reminded me of how after the shutdowns, how the parks were really empty. Yeah. So it was one of those things that we were saying we better enjoy it now. It's never going to be like that again.
Yeah, so they were doing the set sail away party, and we were able to get right up to the stage without even trying. We weren't even there that early. You were able to get close and stand wherever you wanted to, and there wasn't mounds of people all around you, which was great for the media because then we were able to get all the coverage and such that we needed to show you guys what the ship entailed. Unlike the Wish, the Treasure was completed. The Wish, when we did the media sailing for the Wish, was not ready yet. And we were on it with the travel agents. So there was a lot more people on the Wish when we were on there. This was mostly, there was a few agents on there, but it was mostly just media, different media.
And international media, media from everywhere. And again, there was less people on the ship, but this time, instead of like the Wish, it wasn't done yet. So it was more informational type of meetings the whole time. Mm-hmm. But this one, they wanted us to, yes, we had a schedule, but they wanted us to enjoy the ship like a regular guest would so that we can come back and tell you guys what it's about. So that was kind of nice. But again, there was a lot to fit in. But the first thing we did, so wait, let me rewind.
Beep, beep.
I have a review blog going out in the morning too, so that you're going to hear all this again. But the atrium, when you walk in, it is Aladdin themed.
So beautiful.
The colors are nice, like a soft teal and a blue. It's very welcoming. It's very inviting. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Wish, you have a Cinderella theme, and it's very fancy. Yes. This is a little more. Did I say welcoming already?
It's welcoming. Yeah, it's definitely. You walk in there and you feel comfortable walking into it.
Yeah, you don't feel like sometimes you go into certain Disney locations and you feel like you're afraid to touch stuff because it's fancy.
And keep in mind, so the Wish and the Treasure are identical built ships.
Yes.
There is no difference. So where this restaurant is on that ship, it's in the same place on this ship. Everything is built the same, but the way they use the space on the Treasure was so much better.
And those rooms or those restaurants or locations, they're not the same theme as the Wish. So this ship is completely different offerings as the Wish does. The only thing is same as the setup.
In 1923.
In 1923. Yeah. And Worlds of Marvel, but they have two different things, but the majority of it is different.
Yes.
And the first thing that we wanted to see, of course, was the Haunted Mansion parlor. We had been talking about this for over a year since they released like the concept art and everything, and we didn't want too many spoilers because you guys know we are huge Haunted Mansion fans, and we really wanted to be surprised.
Yeah.
And it is so well done. I could talk about it this whole time, but I won't. But it's like an extension. Like picture it. It's an extension of the Haunted Mansion. Like if the Haunted Mansion had a bar. Let's say, like you walk out at the end and
you get off your doom buggy.
You get off your doom buggy and you want a cocktail. But it's so well done, well thought out. There are different sequences, like in an hour, like every 10 minutes, the theme changes. Like you'll have Hitchhiking Ghosts, then you'll have the ballroom scene, then you have the graveyard scene. Madame Leota, there's like a big screen behind the bar.
It looks like a mirror.
It looks like a mirror, yes. But you'll hear like Madame Leota start to speak over the sound, and then you see her floating behind the bar. Same thing with the graveyard scene. You see a band back there. You see the Hitchhiking Ghosts. It's themed so well. It honestly is an extension of the mansion.
The Imagineers went over the top for this parlor. Even from the minute you walk in, so you walk, if you've been on the Wish, it's where Hyperspace Lounge is on the Wish, same spot. So as you go down the little hallway to go in the doorway looks like the hallway in the mansion. It's got the same handles on the door and such. They have all kinds of props in there from the ride itself. So you're walking past that to go into the room. We'll tell you about what happens when you leave in a minute. But you walk in and you literally walk in there. The wallpaper is everywhere, and it's not just flat wallpaper.
It's like fuzzy.
It's a fuzzy type of pattern. It's fantastic. The first thing I noticed was the big fish tank in the middle of the room, which has, I guess it's a Kraken, or I'm not even sure what that would be. That's on it, but it's on top of it. If you go there, make sure you pay attention to the fish tank, because during one of the sequences, you see dead fish swimming in there.
You see the skeleton fish.
There's skeleton fish. Yeah, there's skeleton fish swimming in the tank. Now,
they're not belly up fish.
No, not belly up. I'm sorry. But anybody who knows the mansion's history at all knows Raleigh Crump originally wanted that in the original mansion and never made it. So that the Imagineers took that and they built that into this. The wall art is fantastic, and it changes based on the sequence. So at one scene, they might be singing in the wall art.
Yeah.
The next sequence, they're melting in the art.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy the amount of detail. There's a box on the one shelf that comes to life and starts shaking and opens up, and it's a green light coming out of it. And then you hear Xavier Atencio say, "Get me out of here! Hey, get me out of here!" The whole scene is played out in a little box right there. They have the Donald Duck chair.
Oh, I sat in the Donald Duck chair. It's a very tight squeeze, by the way.
I had to have people pull me up. But you get to see that they have specialty drinks. They have these sodas, which I bought each one of the bottles because I had to have them. And they're cool because
I don't know if you guys can.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's like some kind of.
I guess you can kind of see.
Can they see it a little bit?
Yeah.
But there's stuff like spinning around. It's supposed to look like spirits are floating around inside the bottle. And there's the 4 flavors. So there's grape. There is, which one is this? This is lemonade, I believe.
I can't see.
This one is the cola, and then this one is that's the lemonade. What's this one?
What is that?
This one's just cream soda. So there's 4 of those bottles. They're $5 a piece for the bottle, but you get to take the bottle home with you. And I just wanted them for part of my Haunted Mansion. That was my collectible I wanted from the ship. That was the thing.
And it was cheap because they were only $5, so it's $20, and you can get all of them. And they have like this is Creepy Crawly Cola, and it's got the Haunted Mansion logo on it. Mm-hmm. So these are a great souvenir. I mean, so we did get to sample them, and you had tried the lemonade, and you said it wasn't very good.
It wasn't great, but they do say the Haunted Mansion parlor on them. They're just a really good collector's thing
Something
to have.
simple, you know.
Just gotta figure out a way to get them home, especially if you're flying. I don't know if I'd want to put those in my luggage.
We just
fly
wrap
home
them
with
up.
glass,
Yeah.
being dry. But they had those. They had another drink, till or happily never after, which they bring it to you in a box and they open it up and the smoke bellows out of it. And then there's in the foam on the drink, there's ghosts that are going in.
And the server will put a black light over it, and you'll see the ghosts materialize.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we could spend a ton of time on there, but I know we have an hour. But yeah, so if you're gonna go on the Treasure, highly recommend Haunted Mansion Parlor. It's an hour to go through the sequence, but I heard that once it's regular sailing, they're putting a 45-minute time limit, kind of like what they do at Oga's at the studios, because there's so much going on that people could stay in there for a very long time. I mean, we were lucky we got to go back a few times because there wasn't many of us on the ship. Right. And even just media, it was packed in there. Mm-hmm. So. And
one of the other media reps I was talking to said he went in there late at night, so it's open until 12:30 each night, the parlor. And he had gone in there at like 11:45, and he sat there till 12:30. And he said by then there was nobody in there because a lot of us were running all day. We were all tired. Nobody was up that late. But he stayed in there, so he was the only one in there filming and stuff. There was nobody else in there. And he said depending on which corner you were standing in, you hear different sounds. Yeah. So you might hear disembodied voices over here. You might hear scenes from the graveyard over in this corner. So
the heartbeat of the bride. It storms in there. I mean, so good.
It's hands down my favorite part of the ship. And like Michelle said, we could have stayed there for days. I mean, easily.
Yeah, we were like, okay, we really have to go cover more things on the ship because it's hard to follow when that's the first thing you go see.
It is.
On your way out, we switch it.
Yes.
There's a mirror when you walk out. And so the Treasure has the magic band plus, so where you can open your room and stuff. So if you're wearing your magic band, you walk past the mirror, little Leota pops up and says, "Hurry back." And
so cool.
It is the coolest thing ever. Okay, we're going to stop talking about that.
So when you walk out of the lounge, though, looking directly across, where on the Wish, this is Tiana's lounge.
Like a lounge, yeah.
This is where the Skipper Society lounge is.
Yeah, so this is Jungle Cruise theme.
Jungle Cruise theme. Theming in there is fantastic, actually. There's so many nods to the attraction. If you're a Jungle Cruise fan, you're going to love to sit in this bar. They've got specialty drinks in there as well. We didn't mention that about the mansion, but they actually have the tiki, 2 different tiki mugs.
They're $50 and $60.
$50 and $60 each. But then they have a boat one in the Skipper Society.
And that one's expensive too. It's like $60. But I think I've said it in some of the things I've put out. So if you're a theme park enthusiast, like where the Wish is more like fantasy and like, I don't want to say hoity-toity stuff, but it's not. I have a point. I really don't know what it is. But this is very theme park centered, I guess you could say, because I would talk to some of the Imagineers on the ship, and they were trying to kind of gear it towards folks that want to go to the theme parks or love the theme parks or certain things that people love about the theme parks, like the mansion and Jungle Cruise. So that's where all that kind of came from. Yeah,
and then right next, so when you leave the Skipper Society and across from the mansion, there's what is that? The Aristocats Club?
So it's called the Scat Cat Lounge, and it is themed for the Aristocats, but it's fancy. You really don't see much cat stuff in there. There's paw prints on the piano. That's about it.
And there's actually, there's a bar right outside there, so you don't even have to go in there actually to get drinks because there's the bar right on the corner there. That's kind of in the Grand Hall area. I'm trying to think what else is in there. And then you got the gift shops and such around.
Yeah, and each lounge has their own specialty drinks. So there are a lot of bars on the ship. But it's not a party boat. I don't want you to think that. It's not like going Carnival. No. So, not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's anything wrong with the party boat.
No, but I know a lot of people, because it is family oriented as well.
And of course they have all the kids stuff under that you actually take a slide.
Adventurers Club, isn't that what it's called, or something like that?
Something like that. I can't remember the exact. We actually never got down there. We were so busy with everything else.
We didn't get to see absolutely everything because it was 3 days. They have Jumbo Suites, which is like Vanellope's is on, what is it, the Dream, or is it the Wish?
That's the Wish, I think. I don't remember.
The sweet shop.
Where you had the gelato, and they had the different macarons and different Rice Krispie treats and
Rice Krispie treats, things like that.
Marceline Marketplace is the cabanas from the other ships. It's the buffet. I'm not a fan of Marceline just because I don't like being served. And that if I go to a buffet, I want to be able to get what I want, and it's one of the places where you have to ask for everything.
You have to go to the food station and be like, "Can I have a scoop of potatoes?" And then just one scoop, type of thing. So you have to you have to specifically ask for what you want at each station.
Yeah.
Whereas cabanas on the other ships, you can just go get what you want and it's quicker. So this does take a little bit longer, but the food is good. Breakfast, you really can't beat it if you wanted to do a quick breakfast. And like we had one day at Castaway Key, and most people like with the other ships on Castaway, they hit the buffet and out. But there are other places to eat. There's walk-ups where you can get barbecue food, burgers, tacos, pizza, and that's all on the same deck as the swimming pool.
11.
And
Deck 11 is where at.
Yes, deck 11. There's the ice cream place up there. And of course they have the funnel vision. They have the big thing for where they play movies. I'm trying to think what else. I'm trying to hit it.
Lots of little pools. Lots of pools on that deck. And then the pools kind of go up. So the pools aren't huge, but there's pools on 11. And on the stairways going to 12, there's a pool.
Yeah.
Like there, and then there's a pool up on 12.
The Aquamouse. They have their water slide on there too.
Which has a different video than the one on the Wish does. Yeah. There's two of them. So when you go on it, if you go on it, just might want to see which video it is to see if you've done the one on the Wish. You might want to ask for the
Yeah, they do
video.
have one that is exclusive to the Treasure.
Yes. Back of the boat is still the adult area.
Yes.
With their hot tub that's off the back there. It looks like you're in an infinity pool.
It's almost like an infinity pool back there. It was crowded back there. But of course, they have. Okay, so speaking of theme parks, I'm going to rewind for a second. Periscope Pub is themed after 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So, which I remember from when I was really little. I don't remember a ton about it, but I remember it was my favorite, which we've talked about before. But it is like Periscope, like it's themed for like a submarine. But the food in that lounge is extra. So it does not come with your package on the ship. So they have burgers and wings and things like that. You have to pay for those.
And it's a sports bar. So if you're on the ship during a big sporting event, the games will be broadcast inside of there.
Yeah. And then the restaurants. So 1923 and Worlds of Marvel are on the Wish, but whereas the Wish has frozen dining, Treasure has Coco.
Right. And so if you know the Frozen one, they do a show because there's a stage in the exact middle of the dining room where they do a show. So the Frozen one, they do the show with Olaf and all the characters from Frozen come out to there. On this one, it was a Coco themed show with the music, and Miguel comes out there and he's playing his guitar, and family comes out. It's a good little show, actually. The only problem was if you don't have a good enough seat, it's really hard to see everything.
Yeah, and we didn't have a bad seat, and we still couldn't see. So like we were trying to get video, and I think the problem is with that. Because it's a very large dining room. So we were like diagonal from the stage. Now, if you were sitting in the back or any place behind us, I don't know how you would see. Right. I just think the stage needs to be up a little higher so everybody can see the show is all.
And we were also on a media cruise. So everybody in there is trying to record the show. So you saw everybody getting out of their seats and getting around the stage and crowding it up. So on a typical cruise, I don't think you're going to have that. You're going to have a few people who are going to want to record every moment of it. But we had everybody trying to do that in the dining room, so it was a lot. They had all of us on the same dining rotation. So the first night, everybody went to Worlds of Marvel. On the second night, everybody went to 1923. On the third night, everybody went to Coco. And I think it was just to make it easier for the staff, not to have to worry about multiple.
Yeah, unless they had different groups. And then they had early dining and late dining, of course. We had the later later dining, because the shows were Beauty and the Beast, and there's this sea one that they do on the other ships. And the new show is Moana, that is exclusive to the Treasure. Right. And it tells the tale of Moana, obviously. The singing is great. The props are great. It's a really good show. It was
a great show, actually, the way they brought it all together. We were both sitting there going, how are they going to bring this up? How are you going to see Te-Fiti? How are you going to see this?
Yes.
And they make it all happen right in front of you. It's if you've seen Beauty and the Beast, and there's a lot of transformations, there's a lot of magic that happens behind the scene to make that happen. Same with this show, and the show was just fantastic. And the auditorium, the lighting around the auditorium, they can put stuff on the walls and everything. It's just they did a really, really good job at the Walt Disney Theater on there.
Yeah.
There's also 2 movie theaters on the ship.
Yeah, so if you want to watch movies, you can.
Yep.
They had Moana 2 on our ship, and Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine. There was a couple other ones, but yeah, I was shocked when I saw Deadpool and Wolverine on there, and especially it was showing during the middle of the day, which I was like, okay, so little kids could wander in there technically because nobody's like checking.
There wasn't a ton of kids on the ship.
Yes.
There were some people that brought their kids, but we didn't.
No.
So merchandise. So of course, spirit jerseys and ears and lounge fly bags. But the merchandise for the inaugural for the treasure is very nice. I could have gone nuts in there if I could have afforded to. But they have other like more traditional, like red and blue and yellow, like cruise things for the. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Keep talking.
But the color of though the like bless you was like a teal blue on most of the merchandise for the inaugural. I don't know if that's going to continue and they'll just take the awards inaugural.
I loved it. It's beautiful.
It kind of reminded me of a Tiffany blue. So of course Michele saw that. She's like, oh my gosh, I love it all. They even had if they've been on Disney Cruise, they sell the cooler bags.
Yeah, it's inaugural cooler bags.
And we were told there was only 1,500 of those bags made total. So when they're gone, and they expect them to sell out.
I bet you they'll be on eBay.
But it was just so much fun stuff. This ship, I absolutely love this ship. The Wish, first time we rode the Wish, we had a bad, because it wasn't done. It wasn't a great experience because things weren't done. We didn't have funnel vision show movies. We didn't have everything done.
Yeah, but when we went on the second time, it was a lot better.
A lot better, but I still like the Treasure better, in my opinion. I'm not saying anything's wrong with the Wish. I prefer the Treasure. Actually, the Treasure's become my favorite ship. It used to be the Dream and the Magic. Now the Treasure actually stepped up above both of those because I think this ship is so well done. The elevators on the Wish had problems with you get in the elevator, accidentally hit a button, you'd end up on all the floors stopping. This one they fixed that problem. So a lot of the issues they had on the Wish, they resolved them with the Treasure, which is fantastic. They did all that. I'm trying to think what else. So there's stores by the different lounges and stuff where the parlor is and the Skipper Society.
They have fancy stores that sell like expensive purses and cufflinks and jewelry and perfume and watches. They have Rolex watches.
Yeah.
See, the only thing is, I'm going to be cynical for just a second. So you can choose your night sailing like on the Dream or whatever, but the Treasure for now is just 7 days.
Yes.
So it is very expensive. We priced out a trip in it for us for next year.
For February.
Just to look. We're not doing it. And it was like $12,000.
For the same room we had, would come up to almost 12 after taxes and everything gets added to the room. And it was in February. I want to say towards the end of the month. I don't think it was the beginning of February. So it wasn't around Valentine's Day or anything like that. It was towards the end of the month. So it is a 7-day voyage. So on that voyage, you're going to go to each of the dining rooms twice.
Yep.
So you're going to go to Worlds of Marvel. But just so you know, it's a different menu and a different show both nights. Same with the Coco
is different show. If you have questions, go ahead and put it in here. Randy wants to know if the staterooms had the Hello Mickey Amazon show device in them, and yes, they did.
No, not on the boat.
Yeah, the little thing, didn't they?
No, that was.
Oh my God, that was a contemporary. Ignore me.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, that they didn't have that on the ship, and I think that's still one of the marks they're missing there. I also think another mark they're missing is Disney Plus should be on all those TVs. What better way to somebody who doesn't have Disney Plus, but to be able to use it on the ship? You're paying so much money for the ship. What harm does it cost to put Disney Plus on the ship?
They do have like a movie drop down where there's tons of movies to choose from. But
I think that'd be one. So the Amazon one, I think that's something that'd be great. So the Wi-Fi on this one, and Randy, you definitely know this because you cruised for some time. On the older ships, you paid for 10 gigabytes of data, and that would go like that. You did one video, you used it all that quickly. This one is you pay per day for unlimited access. So I think it was for the 3 days. I want to say they took care of our package, but I want to say it was $80 or $75 for the 3 days. I don't know how much it would be for the full week, but they charge per device, per stateroom. So you could have one stateroom with 4 devices, and you just put all that, and they adjust the price for you on the app.
Yeah, and to me it was worth it because like especially if you're traveling and you need to check things for work or you have family at home you have to check on. I mean, I just think it's worth it for
Well, yeah,
sure.
because the boys, because they didn't go with us, they would call Michelle just to, how you doing? And she would check on them, see how they were doing. She was able to do that because of the Wi-Fi package and such on the ship. Just make sure when you go on these ships, you go into airplane mode, because if you go on these ships and you don't go into airplane mode, your bill is going to be enormous.
Yeah, he was kind of after me, just double checking my phone.
Yeah, make sure it's in airplane mode the whole time so you don't have any issues when you get back to the mainland. But yeah, I can't say anything bad about the treasure. I love that when we got off the ship. So we haven't been to Port Canaveral in the last few cruises we've done. We've gone through Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, we've gone to Lauderdale.
And getting through customs was so much easier now in Port Canaveral. You literally walk up to a screen. The screen takes your picture. If it's a green, you don't have to talk to anybody. You can go right on transportation. You're out. Which saves so much time.
Fast. You remember the old way where you stand in line, show paperwork, talk to somebody, pull all your crap out of your pockets and whatever else, and it took forever, and the lines took forever. This is so seamless and easy. They had that in Fort Lauderdale, like you said, but we were like, God, I hope that the other ports get that, and they do have it, and it's so much easier. That was the one thing I always hated about cruising, was getting off the ship and having to deal with all of that. And
if you've never dealt with it, it's a little bit of anxiety that hits you, because it's like, okay, what are they going to ask me? What if I don't say the right thing? Or you just don't want to
get nervous. Like, do you have anything in there that you're not supposed to?
We grew up in Michigan, and whenever you go to Canada and Michigan, they'd always say,
where are you going with this?
Let's wait and see where I'm going. When you go across the border to Canada, everybody used to always talk, oh my gosh, if you answer the question wrong, they're going to pull your car over and rip your seats out.
Oh yeah, the bridge to Canada.
So I always get a little anxious when I have to talk to customs agents, but I've never had a bad customs agent at Disney's.
We never did anything wrong either, so there's really nothing to
This one has. Who knows what she's done, but I've been good.
That's a lot.
She's a troublemaker. They're like, where's that Michelle?
Yeah. No, I've never smuggled anything off cruise ships that I'm not supposed to.
She took a seashell one time.
I did. Does that count though? They let you take seashells. They don't want you to take food.
So also on this trip, we went to Castaway. I don't know where the stops are on the ship. I don't know if they're going to look out at Castaway.
I think they're going to both Disney's islands. I'm not sure. Probably Nassau. Yeah. You'd have to look up the schedule, their itinerary. So.
See, Claire agrees with me. Same here when it comes to Canada stuff. She doesn't want to get
Claire, it's nerve-wracking because they look at you like you're a criminal. Like.
And when she comes here, think of all the food and stuff she brings.
Oh, Claire, I forgot.
She has to deal with all that.
So. She brings half a grocery store.
She brings snacks for everybody here.
Canada snacks.
Yeah, she brings Canadian snacks that we can't get here, so she brings them for everybody. So I can't imagine. She probably gets a lot of room in her suitcase after she gives all.
After she gives us all her stuff. But then we give her leggings to take back home,
true.
So it fills the void.
That's true.
So yeah, all in all, the Treasure is a beautiful ship. I would love to do it again someday, if we're ever able to afford it.
So we're doing a GoFundMe right now to raise the funds so we can go back. No, I'd imagine someday Disney is really good about sending us back on the ships later to experience either maybe Halloween on the high seas, or they didn't decorate for Christmas when we were on the ship. It was meant to be set up the way it is 9 months
most of the year. Yeah, they wanted us to see it from what it's going to look like the majority of the time.
Right.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I can't say anything bad about the Treasure. I absolutely loved it. I think anybody who's a theme park person would love this ship. If you want to get more information about it or possibly book it, you can reach out to MEI Mossfan Travel. Any of the links on our website will take you to their website.
And it's free.
They will help you guys out. They will plan it. They will price it out for you. They will help you. If prices change, they will get it adjusted for you. They take care of all the legwork and it doesn't cost you anything. So make sure you reach out to Becky and the team out over there, and they will gladly help you out to make the perfect vacation. So we got the Treasure. That was last Thursday. We were exhausted on Thursday. We were going to go to Candlelight. We didn't go to Candlelight because of Brendan Fraser. We missed it. We didn't go to Candlelight all weekend, actually. And then
we had good intentions.
But we got back, and we had to get back into Christmas mode because we leave to go back to Michigan soon. So we had to get back into the Christmas feel. We had to get Christmas shopping because we hadn't even started.
Oh my God, I'm still behind.
But on Monday, Greg and Holly took us with them to see the Mufasa, the Lion King D23 screening at AMC Disney Springs. I don't want to spoil the movie, and it's hard because Michelle and I differ on the movie. The only thing we do definitely agree about, it is not a movie for young children.
I did write a review yesterday. It did have a little bit of spoilers in it. So maybe plug your ears. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing. I just want you to understand something. Now, I am, okay, so I'm an anxious person as it is. I was uncomfortable almost from the beginning of
Yeah,
the
about
movie.
15 minutes in, I think she wanted to get out.
I wanted to leave because it's just, you know how The Lion King had a lot of like cutesy things, a lot of upbeat, a lot of funny. This did not have very much funny at all. It was very violent. It was very dark. It was very hunt you, kill you type of thing from the start to the end. And I I felt so strongly about that that I got a hold of my sister-in-law because my nephews are 3 and 6, and I believe they would cry if they went to see this movie.
Yeah, if you're used to Lion King, the cartoons and such, and it's a happy, fun, there's certain things that do happen in the movie, but it's not plaguing the entire movie. This movie has a lot to do with death, has a lot to do with revenge. We're gonna stop you. We're gonna win. The music wasn't.
The music was terrible.
The music was not good. I thought they should have brought back Elton John and Tim.
Oh yeah, they should have. But like, so I love Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he did Encanto and Hamilton and all these other things. The music fell flat so hard. And even when I got out of the theater, people in the hallway and in the bathroom were like, what happened with that music? It was bad. So, I mean, I'm not trying to tell you not to see it. Don't go with huge expectations.
The story is pretty good.
The story itself is good. The way they portrayed it was very harsh. And, like, maybe I'm a weenie because I will not go see that again. It put me on the edge of my seat. I came home and took an anxiety medicine.
I will say this, though. I have never seen CGI so done.
That was beautiful.
That well. There's snow scenes, and if you've ever lived in the north and you've walked through snow and stuff, you know how snow moves, you know how it falls.
Yes.
And you could not tell that this was not real. Absolutely amazing, the CGI in this movie.
The visuals were beautiful. The story would have been good if it wasn't so darn right scary, and the music was crap.
That's what I kept telling her, because you know the story. This is before The Lion King. So you know Mufasa's going to make it out. You know Scar is going to make it out.
It's a lot of sadness. I think that's what bothered me so much, in addition to the violence, but was the sad undertone of the whole thing, because I don't want to spoil it, but there's a lot of sadness. And that's why I think that a child would be sad or they would be scared.
Yeah, you know your children. You know
better than I do, but
it's really dark for the kids, and you might have a lot of explaining to do if they do go see it.
Yeah.
And the basis of the story is Rafiki is basically telling the story of Mufasa to his granddaughter, correct?
Simba's child.
Simba's child, who's being babysat by Timon and Pumbaa, which they're hilarious. They are the parts when they come in, they're funny.
But the only thing is, the Timon and Pumbaa parts are probably 30 seconds in between, death and sadness and scary, and then like ha ha for 30 seconds, and then back to death and scary. I mean, in my humble opinion, there's so much sadness and upset in the world already. I don't want to go to a theater and leave upset. I don't want to be...
Not from a Disney movie.
No.
I mean, if she's going to see Saw, she knows what to expect.
I won't see that either.
If she's going to see Terrifier, she knows what the screen's going to bring.
I will not see that.
But a Disney movie, you don't expect this. Deadpool and Wolverine, you expect that. You expect the things like that.
But even that's got humor.
Yeah, that has a lot of humor. There was very little humor in it. But again...
Use caution.
You know your children, you know what they can handle and not handle. We just want to kind of give the warning out there, especially for like our nephews. We did not want our sister-in-law to take them, and then all of a sudden she's walking out because it's so bad, and she's having to explain to a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old what's going on the screen.
Well, our 6-year-old Jackson, he's like his auntie. He's a sensitive soul. He would sit and cry, and I would be dragging him out of there. So, but yeah, just use your discretion when it comes to how little to take them.
But I think the story for the movie, fantastic. I think they could have done without the musical part of it. It was. The music was just bad. But use your discretion. I think it's going to do really well this weekend just because it is a Disney movie. Lion King did so well. on its own. So I think the movie's going to do really well at the box office. I just think you're going to see a lot of negativity coming out about it once it hits on Friday. So
maybe I'm wrong. But I know maybe the people in the bathroom are wrong. Maybe the people in the hallway are wrong. But I guess we'll see. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks.
Exactly. Okay, so that's all we've really done in the last 2 weeks, which I know seems like a lot, but we kind of want to just recap what we've done this last year. And it blows me away how much we've actually done. Because we've been busy, and I knew we were busy. Now, keep in mind, between TMSM, we also run LPA. In 2024, we did have a House of Mouse Expo.
In March, yes.
So we had so much other stuff going on, but I put together just a quick rundown. And this, I don't want to say this is braggy. I don't want to do anything like that. I just want to say it's all the stuff we've covered for you guys, that we've gotten to do, that we've gotten to share with you guys. And that's the blessing we get from it all, is because it's a labor of love, what we do. Disney lets us do some amazing, incredible things, like the ships and things like that. But we do a lot of this out of labor of love because they don't pay us. We love to share our Disney. We love to share Disney with everybody who wants to hear about it. And the true Disney fans are the ones who have built our community of the Main Street House.
Yeah, and that's really what we are. We're not a news site. We're not a rumor site. You know, for 14 years now, we've been a big family and a big community. And we do these extra things and try to do a good job for you. So we appreciate you following everything that we do. It means a lot.
So I'm going to run down the list. If there's something I say in particular you want to comment on, go ahead and stop me. If there's anything you want to remember, like, oh yeah, this was great for this or that. Okay. So let's start out in January, shall we? So January 2024, we started out. Our first big event of the year was Festival of the Arts. Yep. One of our favorite festivals. It's 6 years it'll be this year.
Is it five, right? 5 or 6? I don't
know. We've been to them all. We love it. It's a great festival. Too short, again.
Yeah.
Last year they had the really cool popcorn bucket though. That was the Imagination Pavilion.
That kept breaking.
That everybody kept breaking, but it's still really cool.
The ground doors blew off.
The only other thing we did in January though was football, because the Lions were in the playoffs, and I was glued to the TV and wearing Lions jerseys
like
every day.
He still is.
And I still am. So yeah, we're not gonna talk about last Sunday though.
The Lions.
Anyway, or was it Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, okay, then February came around and we went to MegaCon. And Michele was trying to find one person in all of MegaCon, 120,000 people. She was trying to find one, Tom Hiddleston, because he was in the building, but she couldn't get to him. So she took a picture with the cutout by his booth where he was, which was fantastic because we still have that.
You take what you get, right? So close, but so far.
Yeah, you and Hollywood found, because you and McGregor were in the same.
Hayden Christensen.
They were all kind of behind. You had to go in a special room. You had to have tickets to see them.
You couldn't just take creeper pictures. They were hiding behind.
They were hiding, but she did get a picture with the cutout. So.
With his sign, big deal, right?
You know what? The CGI in Mufasa looked better than the cutout.
Oh.
Just saying.
Well, yeah. Well, that's good.
And then after MegaCon, we took our first Princess cruise. Princess had us on a 7-day voyage of theirs. They wanted us to come out and review their ships. They're trying to reach a younger demographic, as you guys, we talked a lot about it at the time. So we had to do 7 days on Princess, which was a fantastic cruise. Got to do it with some of our friends. Yeah. Great time. After that, while we were on there, we had the Super Bowl. We had your birthday. We had Valentine's Day. And we had our vow renewal.
Crap.
All that shit. That all happened that trip. Then we get back off the ship, and guess what? Festival of the Arts is over because Flower and Garden Festival starts.
Yeah.
So we had a media event for Flower and Garden. So we went and covered that. Another great festival that we love to do each year. March, House of Mouse Expo. Third one came about. Bigger than it's ever been.
Lessons were learned.
Lessons were learned. Lots of lessons were learned. I'll be 100% honest. I walked away going, okay, this is it. I'm done. And I have had so many people since then. You have to try it again. You need to find investors. You need to do this. Nobody's doing this like you are. Celebrities have reached out to me. Phineas and Ferb, the voice actors of Phineas and Ferb,
reached out last week. We're like, hey, can we come to your show?
They want to come to the show because they've heard about it from other actors they know and how it's such a Disney fan base. They want to be there. They want to come to it next year if we're able to make it work. So I'm just going to, there's no plans right now. There's nothing in the works. We haven't even talked to anybody about it yet. But eventually, who knows where it'll go.
Yeah, we have people that are interested, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Then we had the D23 anniversary party. I think it was for 15 years. Is that what it was? At Splitsville?
I don't know. This is a lot for me. My head is spinning.
So D23 had the 15th anniversary at Splitsville last year. We got to go to that and attend it and hang out with everybody. We knew a lot of people there. It was kind of fun. Michael, who runs D23, was there. We got to talk to him for a while.
Yes.
Fantastic time. Then SeaWorld had us out to celebrate their 60th anniversary.
This is like speed year.
Speed year. We were sitting on the boat going, we've done 3 cruises this year and went to Disneyland. That's all we thought we did. No. April came around. We were at the grand opening of Pinstripes. This is the new bowling food venue, bocce ball place that's over by the outlet mall. Vineland?
Yeah.
Near Vineland. Great place to go if you're in town.
I think that was in April. Wow.
I know. It's flown by. Then we went to Michigan for the NFL draft because it's football and I had to be there. And it was in Detroit.
It was fun.
I had to be there. And Michelle got to try M&M's Mom's Spaghetti.
I did.
She loved it.
It was good. Not the spaghetti snob. Mom's spaghetti is pretty good.
She loved it. Out of a Chinese food container. Got back from there. We went to 1900 Park Fair. They reopened finally. They had been closed since COVID. Finally got to go back to there. It's a whole different theming. If you go on our site, you can probably find a review of it. I'm not going to talk about that. Something fantastic launched in April, though. Daydream Believing podcast started in April.
Was it in April?
It was April. I went back and looked at the date to make sure of it. So her podcast, which she just did episode 30 did you do it last week or was it the week before? I don't think you did last week.
I have to do one tomorrow.
She'll do one tomorrow, but that'll be episode 31. So she's on episode 31 starting tomorrow. It's really done well. We're watching the numbers of it. It's growing. If you haven't listened to it, take a listen. It is not Disney. It is not about Disney. It is about life. It is about things Michelle's going through. She's dealing with
real world situations. It's like I call it. It's like get together with friends every Thursday night.
Yes.
And we do talk about some Disney, but it's kind of. Do you remember like my Adventures in Florida Living articles I used to do? It's kind of like an extension of that to tell you what's been going on, or like thoughts I have about different subjects. I've had people email me and ask questions. So it's very therapeutic.
And Teresa told you it's a great podcast.
I can't read. Oh, thank you, Teresa.
Well, that launched, so make sure you listen to that. It comes out on Thursdays at 7 p.m. In May, we had the Dreams That Soar debuted at Disney Springs. That we got to go to that media premiere, the drone show.
Oh yeah,
Springs,
right.
Fantastic drone show. If you got to see it, you got to see something fantastic. If you missed it, hopefully it'll be back next summer because they did a really good job.
It was only for a couple months.
Only for a couple months, but it was great. That was all we did in May. May was another slow month. Coming to June, though, we were on the Disney Magic as we were sent to go see Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. And
the new island.
We were with the first group of people to step foot on that island. Us and the Flies stepped on the island at that time.
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies. They have fixed that issue, though, from what we've been told. We haven't been at Deck to Lookout. I don't know if they're not letting us because we talked about the flies.
Okay, it wasn't decided to talk about all the flies on the island. It went rampant. Everybody was talking about it.
We were joking about it on this ship. We were hoping they'd take us back to Lookout to see if the flies.
We wanted to see if the fly situation was fixed.
And also, when we went on the Magic, because we stayed out of Fort Lauderdale, it was our first trip on the Bright Line.
Yeah.
Which the Bright Line is a fantastic option. If you're in town, you need to go to Fort Lauderdale or Miami to catch a ship.
Yeah.
Fantastic option. So relaxed.
Smooth, easy
smooth.
peasy.
There's food on board. You can set up your computer. You can charging ports, everything. Right where you're sitting. It's really great.
It's fast.
Let's see what was next. Then when we got off that ship, off the Magic, we were rushed over to Epcot and such and Magic Kingdom because Tiana's Bayou Adventure opened along with Communicore Hall. So we had all that, and then we were supposed to have a party at Magic Kingdom. But that got canceled and they moved it to the Contemporary last minute because the rain was coming in.
Gosh, your memory is good.
And that's where I met Keith David, which I was excited to meet Keith David because I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, Keith David. And she's like, go talk to him. I'm like, no, I can't talk to him.
I'm like, no, go talk to him.
And I did. He took a picture of me. He's great. I love the guy. So we did that. Communicore Hall, if you haven't heard anything about that, there's a reason. Also in June, we celebrated our 10 years in Florida.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
So we've been here for 10 years now, 10 years of doing all this.
So I know there's some people watching that have been with us since we've been in Michigan. And can you guys believe it's been, 10 and a half years now?
10 and a half now.
It just feels like not that long ago.
No.
I mean, it does, but it doesn't. If that makes sense. Yeah.
And then at the end of June, we actually had a family trip in Tennessee with Michelle's mom and dad and her brother and sister-in-law and their nephews. And we and Aiden went with us. Andrew couldn't go because he was working, but we went to Tennessee to Gatlinburg.
We were in the mountains.
In the mountains. We went and seen the Titanic exhibit. It was just family time for 3 days right on the creek. It was really nice. nice little peaceful
Relaxing.
location, relaxing for us.
And I was still working from there.
Still working from there. And that's where we found the backyard bidets.
Right. Okay,
If you remember the
anyway.
video. In July, first thing out of the gate was 4th of July. So we went to Magic Kingdom on July 3rd, and then we were at Epcot on 4th of July. That's
Yeah.
how we did it. Then we celebrated National Dole Whip Day. They had a media event for that, and they had us running around property trying all the Dole Whips. I never ate so much flipping Dole Whip in all my life, and I love Dole Whip. And actually, I had a Dole Whip Rice Krispie treat the other day. Oh my gosh, life changing. If you like Rice Krispie treats and Dole Whip.
Oh, because we forgot to say we saw the new Island Tower also last week.
No, oh yeah, I have it in here, but yeah.
Okay, but go on.
Anyway, we're not DVC, so that's what Anyway, back to that. We also visited the Evermore Resort that is close to property. Beautiful facility.
Fancy.
Very fancy, very nice. If you're looking for a place to stay and you don't want to stay on property, check out Evermore Resort. They've got their pool, lake, whatever you want to call it.
It looks like a lake.
It looks like a lake, but it is a pool. It's got a filtration system and everything. It is humongous.
It's not murky like a lake.
No, and they have boats that go on it. It's crazy how big it is. Then we went to Sunset Walk for a media event. We got to check out Sunset Walk, and Michele became a lumberjack, and she threw axes at a wall. And you've probably seen the video if you follow on Instagram at all. That was a fun event because I got to watch her throw like 15 axes till one finally stuck in the wall.
So one finally stuck.
And she jumped, and she cheered, and she's like, "I'm done.
We're done.
Not even gonna try it anymore." But it was a fun time.
This is exhausting.
It is. And we're only done. Now we're in August. So in August, we went to California for D23, which we had all those announcements and all that big news came out of there. We got to visit the parks. We got to see the Haunted Mansion overlay again, which love it. If you haven't seen it, get out there and see that when it's there. We also took the time on our last day because we had time to kill. We went and we found Roy's great site.
That's right.
Which was that? It was
Forest Lawn.
Forest Lawn. So we went to Forest Lawn. There's a lot of celebrities that are that's where their final resting place is. And we went there and we found Roy's stone
with his wife.
We cleaned it up because it was a little bit overgrown. But it's just amazing to think all the things Roy did because there was no Walt without Roy. I mean, I'm sorry, the company would not exist without both the brothers doing what they did.
Right.
And while Walt is the figurehead and everything knows, Roy is the one, he was the backbone and he kept it all going forward. And Roy just, no big headstone, nothing
Very
fancy.
simple.
And what did it say on his?
It said something about him being a humble man.
Just a humble man.
And he was. Nothing super fancy whatsoever.
That was probably one of the highlights of my year, though, was being able to go and pay respects to that man because we didn't have our jobs without him.
No, it was crazy. It just made us feel some sort of way. But I'm so glad that we got to do that. It was just a really special moment.
We both teared up, actually.
Yeah, we're cleaning it off because it looked like it wasn't taken care of. And, we didn't have any supplies with us. We're just pulling grass and cleaning stuff off. But I'm really glad that we did that because it was just, and it wasn't for clout or anything. It's just something that we wanted to do. And there was other celebrities there. Mm-hmm. I would love to go back. It's just a peaceful, beautiful place.
We did find Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds' tomb that they're both in. Yep. So we did get to see that. Michael Clark Duncan's, we saw his. We saw a lot of different ones because we did walk around for a little bit. It's surreal that all those people who have touched so many lives are in that one area. So.
Oh, you forgot to mention that a book that I'm in that I contributed to came out.
I hadn't got there yet.
All right, sorry.
As Michele was saying, that when we were the last day of D23, we were with our friends Claire and Sarah, and we were on the second floor by the stores, and we saw the publishing book thing, and I can't remember if Sarah went in there or Claire went in there, but one of them went in there, and I was kind of looking, I saw a Hocus Pocus book, walked over here, saw it, go, hey, Michele. Michele was featured in this book. She was asked to be a contributor to this book, along with all the cast of the movie, because she's hosted if you listen to the live podcast show, the largest Hocus Pocus panel to date.
So
she hosted
our friend Greg, he touts a lot of my accolades, but he always
he's watching now.
Oh, is he?
He just popped on.
Oh,
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg. I was just talking about you. And doing the largest Hocus Pocus reunion to date, as he would say, is one of my most proud things.
So she's featured in this book along with everybody who was in the movie. Bette Midler's in the book. Sarah Jessica Parker's in the book. Doug Jones is in the book. Jason Marsden. Everybody we've met through the whole House of Mouse Expo, they're in the book, along with Leonardo DiCaprio's got a section in the book. I mean, all these actors who were somehow almost involved or were involved in that movie. They're all in this book. Written by Disney. The book talks about the Main Street Mouse. It talks about how somehow
they let us put all that in there. So yeah. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time because we're running out of
But
time.
that book is out there.
Awesome.
You can find it on Amazon if you're looking for it. I'm trying to think what's next. So when we got back from D23, Michele had to judge a bartender's bash at the Edison. She got me and Chuck sat there and watched her judge.
I love judging.
She loved judging that one. Then we covered the Food and Wine Festival. So the next festival started, and we got to go cover that at Epcot again. Then we got our first invitation to cover a Universal Orlando resort. We got to cover Halloween Horror Nights on opening night, I was so excited. So much fun.
And I was so excited to watch from home.
Because she did not want to go.
Did not want to go.
But she did go in September when we covered Busch Gardens Hall of Scream. She was scared to death.
You know what? They know.
And then also in September, we had a Space 220 media event.
That was fun.
That was fun. Lots of food. Lots
of good times with our friends.
October came around, and Paula, who's on, was here in October. And not only did we go to HHM with Paula, but Hurricane Milton was on his way in. So Paula got stuck here, I think, 2 more days? 3
she
more days?
She didn't get to go home for a couple days.
Because the hurricane rolled in, and she got to ride out her first hurricane with us here in Orlando. And we made it, obviously. We're still here. But she got to see what that was like and such. November came around, Jollywood Nights media event. Went there. Love Jollywood. I'm sure you probably heard us say that, but we love that event.
Oh, yes.
Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party came around. Too crowded. It's okay. Then we attended the Swan and Dolphin Food Wine Classic, another great event we love to do. Icon Park, which is where they had the wheel or the eye. What do they call it now? I know they changed the name like every 6 months. Whatever there is over there where the big.
I think it's the Icon Park, or the wheel at Icon Park.
Maybe that's
something.
The wheel.
I don't know.
We went and attended their holiday event, met Santa Claus there, got to ride the wheel, went through the Madame Tussauds, went through the Sea Life Aquarium, did all that fun stuff. Had some barbecue food, it was great. Then last week in November, Mom and Dad came to town. We had Thanksgiving dinner here, kind of a low-key week. But as soon as they left, we dropped them off that morning. We had to head over to Epcot because Festival of Holidays started that weekend also. So we dropped Mom and Dad off at the airport, and we headed right to Epcot to get there for Festival of Holidays. Oh, no, we didn't drop them off. They took an Uber.
Yeah, okay, so I made my parents get an Uber because they had to leave at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I'll see you at Christmas.
We dropped them off before. We didn't drop them off this time. So we headed over there for Festival of Holidays, covered that event. December, as we talked about, we've done the Disney Treasure Media event, which we just talked about. As Michele mentioned, Island Tower of Disney's Foundation Villas and Bungalow media event this past weekend. So we got to see the tower. There's a video we put up on YouTube. I know a lot of people watch it. It's like one of our highest videos.
He's watching the numbers climb. He's so happy.
But it's doing really well. So if you want to go check out, the rooms are really beautiful over there. There's a couple things
It's not super Disney.
It's not super Disney themed, but it's still really nice. And that's where I had the pineapple flavored Dole Whip Rice Krispie treat. Will change your life.
I didn't like it.
I loved it. I want to go back for more, but didn't have any. And then last night we recorded the live podcast show, our Christmas special, which will be out Christmas Eve. I'm guessing Greg is on there, and I'm ahoy ahoy. Usually that comes out on Christmas Eve, like we did last year. This year we did a Charlie Brown Christmas. Michele was Lucy. She was a psychiatrist. She did a great job with all the phobias. It was fantastic. We need an outtakes audio, Greg. Can we work on the outtakes?
Terrible. At least I can admit that I didn't know how to pronounce all them phobias.
I don't think it was terrible.
It was pretty bad.
I don't think it was terrible.
No, the whole play was good except for my part about the psychiatric help.
I was Charlie Brown.
I need psychiatric help after that.
After the phobia, like stand on a chair phobia, fall down the steps phobia, all these other, I don't know. But that's our full year in review. And again, I can't believe how much we did this year. I mean, honestly, when you look at it on paper, it didn't feel like it was that much. But I wouldn't trade what we do for anything.
No.
We're so lucky we get to do everything we do, and we get to do it because you guys support us. And I guess that's what I'm most appreciative to each and every one of you out there. If you guys didn't watch what we did, if you guys didn't like what we did, if you guys didn't send us messages of encouragement and push us to do more, it wouldn't be there. So thank you guys. You guys are the reason we get to do so many great things.
No, and we appreciate it because, life is hard. And I know that we, of course, show you all the happy things.
Yes.
But we're just a regular family with ups and downs and struggles, just like everyone else. but we have that side to where we are trying to share Disney magic to other people that need it too. So even on our bad days, the Disney magic doesn't stop. We're still and it's every day. No breaks, no holidays, nothing.
Christmas Day we'll be working, waiting for
yeah.
we'll put out information, and we'll wait in case something does happen that we can put out there. We will share it with you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's because of you guys. It's like I said, it's those messages of you guys are doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was having a horrible day, and then I saw your video or your reel or your photo of this, and it turned my whole day around, and it made me realize how much I miss Disney or how much I love Disney, or just gave me that feeling I needed to have because I was having a bad day. So we're glad that we're in a position where we're able to do that for so many people, and we appreciate the support more than you guys will ever understand. So thank you guys. So we just did our year of what we've done this year.
I'm tired.
2025, we have some big goals. We have a lot of ideas. First off, we're gonna hopefully the Lions will be in the Super Bowl.
You couldn't help yourself.
That's my first one. If that one hits, Scott will have the greatest 2025 in the history of
no matter what happens.
No matter what else happens after that, my Lions in the Super Bowl, that's all I care about at that point. Because if they win, the parade will be on Main Street USA in the Magic Kingdom. And I will be there, and I will have all 7 of my Lions jerseys on. And I will be rooting them on as they go down Main Street.
All 7.
All 7. That's just funny. We want to bring back Live on Location in 2025 at the Springs. We've already talked. Matt Simon, who's the vice president of the Springs, loves it when we did it. He wants us to bring it back, so we're going to be in talks to get that going. Not sure when, but we are going to talk about bringing that back to the Springs this year. We're working on doing more live shows like this, more podcasts. We want to give you guys more content to choose from, to listen to hear what's going on.
I mean, if you want to hear us more.
If you guys want to hear it. We're working on that, though. We got lots of big ideas with that. We are relaunching our newsletter. So if you've been on the site recently, you'll see, after you've been on the site for a few minutes scrolling, you'll see a pop-up. Put your email address in there. We just want to make sure our email list is clean and we have everybody's email addresses correctly. So if you haven't signed up for our email address in the last few months, please make sure you sign up for it. We're going to start the email newsletter. It's going to be a recap of some of the big stories of the week and maybe some stuff that's coming up, just to kind of keep you guys informed, because Facebook does not like to show people who like our page.
We have almost 500,000 followers and we got like 20 people on because they don't show it. And if you sign up for the newsletter, then you won't ever miss any breaking news or any type of updates, or if we're going to have an event. It's just a good way to keep in touch.
It is. So we're working on that. We want to get you guys that information. We're working on another special video project, news update type thing. Greg and us and everybody, we're trying to come up with something really big. Hopefully we'll have that sometime sooner than later. We're expanding Lost Princess apparel. We're growing the line. We're not going to have just leggings and a few tops and skirts. We want to grow the line to become a larger retail shop for men and women.
Yes.
We want to appeal to both sides. So we're going to work on all that in the new year. Actually working on button-down shirts still, and I think I'm getting close. We're going to relaunch TMSM Radio. That's going to be coming up. So you're going to be able to listen to TMSM Radio while you're at work, in the car, wherever you want to, and hear the Disney music that makes you smile, or the fireworks, or the parades, or whatever. We're hoping to attend the 70th anniversary at Disneyland this year.
We hope.
In 2025, because if you didn't know, 70 years.
70. Yes.
I think they said that starts in May, the celebration.
Does it?
I can't remember. I thought that's what he said. Well, I know that it's July 17th, right?
Yeah. It's my dad's birthday.
Yeah. But we're hoping to be out there for that. And then you know what? Who knows what else is going to get thrown at us this year? And like I said earlier, I said you never know. There could be another House of Mouse that gets planned. It won't be in 2025. That I can promise you. It will not be in 2025. If anything, it'll be in 2026.
We're still paying off 2024.
Yeah. So actually, we're still paying off 23 and 21. But that's a whole other story. But that might happen depending on if the right sponsors and the right financiers come in to help us out with it. It could definitely happen. Again, all this is because of your guys' support. Everything we get to do is because of what you guys do. You guys support Lost Princess Apparel. You guys support our blogs. You guys support the podcast. None of this is possible without you guys. Yes. None of it. Not any of it. And we're so thankful.
He's very thankful tonight.
I am. I don't know why I'm sentimental. I guess I'm getting older.
Sentimental. But yeah, no, we really, really appreciate you all. And we are listening, and that's why we did this live show again, because I know a lot of you do listen to the podcast, but you miss doing this. And the fact that we did this on such short notice is probably a reason why people didn't know we were doing it. So maybe if we can get on some sort of pattern, or I can let you know way in advance.
Or if you sign up for the newsletter, we can put it in there.
Yeah, because this was kind of last minute, so that's completely my fault that I didn't give you guys a lot of notice. So sorry about that.
But yeah, we've got lots of big plans. This is our last show for this year. You guys will see posts and such, and if anything major breaking news comes out, we may jump on camera. Depends on what it is.
Let's hope nothing major.
Hopefully nothing major that we have to, unless it's really great news. But you guys might not see us again on camera like this until January. But we just wanted to say thank you guys for this year. Thank you for all the years of support.
14
years of supporting the Main Street Mouse. We wish every one of you happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, happy everything.
Happy everything, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate, whatever your holiday is, we wish you the happy blessings that go with that.
We are all a big family here, and we hope that you have a wonderful Christmas. You enjoy time with your family and friends, because at the end of the day, family and friends is what it's really all about.
Yep, it is. At the end of the day, it's all that matters. And you guys are our family.
And thank you.
So thank you for being a part of our family. Now go do what you got to do. Watch your shows.
Watch your shows.
Whatever you got to do. I'm going to eat dinner because I haven't eaten yet. But thank you guys so much for watching. And until next year.
Yeah.
Are you done? I should have asked that before I finished it off. I assumed you were.
You've said enough. I'm good.
Okay, we're out.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
and
holidays.
We will see you again in January. Bye.
Bye, guys.